Resident Evil 2.
Chew on that, you overgrown son of a bitch.
Leon, up here.
What the hell was...
Just get up here.
No one's around? That's weird.
Don't shoot!
Get down! You all right?
Yeah, I think so. Thanks.
You can thank me later, when we're safe.
Holy shit.
Come on! Get in! Hold on.
What the hell is going on?
I don't know. Hopefully they'll have some answers at the police station.
Wait, you're a cop?
Yeah, Leon Kennedy. You are?
Claire. Claire Redfield.
Live around here?
No. I'm looking for my brother. He's a cop too.
Well, it's a good thing we found each other. I don't know what to expect anymore.
Attention all citizens. Due to the citywide outbreak, you are advised to take shelter at the Raccoon City Police Station. Free food and medical supplies will be provided to everyone in need.
Oh my god, this is so unreal.
Police station's not much farther. They'll know something.
Yeah, but what if we're the only ones? What if there's no survivors?
No, there's survivors. It's a big city. There has to be. Looks like we're walking from here.
More like running.
Yeah, good call.
Leon, you gotta back up. What the?
Holy shit. There, get out. Get out now!
I can't!
Hold on! Claire! Claire, you okay?
Yeah! I'm alright! How about you?
Can't stay here, it's not safe!
Go on ahead! I'll meet you at the station!
I'll be there! No one's around? That's weird. What the?
Don't shoot!
Get down! You all right?
Yeah, I think so. Thanks.
You can thank me later, when we're safe.
Holy shit.
Come on! Get in! Hold on.
What the hell is going on?
I don't know. Hopefully they'll have some answers at the police station.
Wait, you're a cop?
Yeah, Leon Kennedy. You are?
Claire. Claire Redfield.
Live around here?
No. I'm looking for my brother. He's a cop too.
Well, it's a good thing we found each other. I don't know what to expect anymore.
Attention all citizens. Due to the citywide outbreak, you are advised to take shelter at the Raccoon City Police Station. Free food and medical supplies will be provided to everyone in need.
Oh my god, this is so unreal.
Police station's not much farther. They'll know something.
Yeah, but what if we're the only ones? What if there's no
No,
survivors?
there's survivors. It's a big city. There has to be. Looks like we're walking from here.
More like running.
Yeah, good call.
Leon, you gotta back up. What the?
Holy shit. There, get out. Get out now!
I can't!
Hold on! Claire! Claire, are you okay?
Yeah! I'm alright! How about you?
Can't stay here, it's not safe!
Go on ahead! I'll meet you at the station!
No one's around. That's weird. What the?
Don't shoot!
Get down! You all right?
Yeah, I think so. Thanks.
You can thank me later, when we're safe.
Holy shit.
Come on! Get in! Hold on.
What the hell is going on?
I don't know. Hopefully they'll have some answers at the police station.
Wait, you're a cop?
Yeah, Leon Kennedy. You are?
Claire. Claire Redfield.
You live around here?
No. I'm looking for my brother. He's a cop too.
Well, it's a good thing we found each other. I don't know what to expect anymore.
Attention all citizens. Due to the citywide outbreak, you are advised to take shelter at the Raccoon City Police Station. Free food and medical supplies will be provided to everyone in need.
Oh my god, this is so unreal.
Police station's not much farther. They'll know something.
Yeah, but what if we're the only ones? What if there's no survivors?
No, there's survivors. It's a big city. There has to be. Looks like we're walking from here.
More like running.
Yeah, good call.
Leon, you gotta back up. What the?
Holy shit. There, get out. Get out now!
I can't!
Hold on! Claire! Claire, are you okay?
Yeah! I'm alright! How about you?
Can't stay here, it's not safe!
Go on ahead! I'll meet you at the station!
I'll be there!
Yeah, I'm almost there. You know me, I'll be fine. Sounds good. I'll be back as soon as I find Chris. I will, but I gotta go. Why does everyone think I'm gonna get in trouble? What the? Hello? It's like a nightmare. Whoa! Don't shoot!
Get down!
We gotta get out of here.
You all right?
Yeah, I think so. Thanks.
You can thank me later, when we're safe.
Holy shit.
Come on! Get in! Hold on.
What the hell is going on?
I don't know. Hopefully they'll have some answers at the police station.
Wait, you're a cop?
Yeah, Leon Kennedy. You are?
Claire. Claire Redfield.
Live around here?
No. I'm looking for my brother. He's a cop too.
Well, it's a good thing we found each other. I don't know what to expect anymore.
Attention all citizens. Due to the citywide outbreak, you are advised to take shelter at the Raccoon City Police Station. Free food and medical supplies will be provided to everyone in need.
Oh my god, this is so unreal.
Police station's not much farther. They'll know something.
Yeah, but what if we're the only ones? What if there's no
No,
survivors?
there's survivors. It's a big city. There has to be. Looks like we're walking from here.
More like running.
Yeah, good call.
Leon, you gotta back up. What the?
Holy shit. There, get out. Get out now!
I can't!
Hold on!
Oh shit.
Claire! Claire, are you okay?
Yeah! I'm alright! How about you?
I can't stay here. It's not safe.
Oh shit. Go on ahead! I'm meet you at the station!
Hi, this is our timely display of what's going on with the bits that we haven't quite seen in Resident Evil 2. We just used an unlock code so we can see everything, because we didn't unlock everything in the main game.
Yeah.
And we're just doing it from a fresh save so you can see it all. It's all brand new. So yes, here's what we've unlocked by buying the thing.
Well, I think we felt like we are going to play the DLC at some point, but to make it a bit less time intensive at this point, the LP is long since done, is we can produce an extras episode and then just play the DLC when we get to it. And then
No, this is timely.
Yeah, we can look through all of these galleries.
Ooh.
I think all of this stuff we saw in the LP.
I wish I had a
just 'cause
special
we
costume.
deleted the game saves, so it would all reset. So records is just sort of the achievements you do in the game. Records for the Ghost Survivors is for DLC, and then we have concept art we've unlocked.
Let's look at all the concept art we've unlocked through our gameplay. We haven't unlocked any, but here they all are. This is early
Oh, go on, you do it.
early key visual. Just for another take though.
Early key visual.
And now together. Early key visual. Oh, that's quite good. Can I zoom in? I like the ones where you can zoom in. You can't on this one.
It's nicer to be able to have a look.
You'll have to do Internet Explorer zoom, by which I mean move your face closer to the screen.
Are these like folders, or is this the single image is the early concept view?
This is early key visual. I can't
Sure.
stress that enough. Now the question is, can I press right to get to the next one? That's really good. That's one image, so yeah, you can't I don't think you can look at the other images there, can you? That's not the same thing.
No, this is the one, and then if you go back, this is the next one along.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go back into them, because otherwise you don't get to say things like early key visual. This is Raccoon City A. Or for the Canadians.
Raccoon City A.
Yeah, I thought it was good. So this is Raccoon City A.
The
Actually, I'm going to
bodies
go back to this.
piled
Look
up.
at this. The bottom ones are quite cool as well. So we've got in front of the police station,
Yeah. Gates smashed open.
and then outside the police station again, but from another view. It's very noir-y.
Yeah, I was going to say, so this is for it being concept art, it's sort of you want to capture the mood with the smokiness and the rain and the neon lights in the dark. It's very cool.
And I think that is what an early key visual is for. It's to show you the how the game's mood is supposed to be. And of course you do start off on a dark and stormy night. I mean, it even copies the sort of it's like the beginning of that film, Big Trouble in Little China, where it's literally dark and stormy night, and then there's a truck driver, and of course that's
the burger
literally
on the
the beginning of the game.
No.
No, he's eating like a...
Oh, is it like inspired by that, do you think?
I think it's a pork sandwich, but it's like one he's bought. Sorry, back to Raccoon City here. Yeah, and this is again the same sort of thing, but it's very lit by the police lights. It's very cool.
It is, yeah.
Dark and stormy night.
We've got Raccoon City B. So they're all just alternate shots of outside of the police station, but in different states. So this is much more broken down.
This looks more ruined than the actual game does, in my opinion.
Cool.
Raccoon City C. The open sea.
Oh, right, yeah, this is sort of the other street that I think you can get to. There's that big fire truck / truck in it.
What's going on that bottom right one? Is that like
it's a derailed
capsized
train, I think. Yeah, that's looking into it.
Was that in the game? That's really cool.
I think there are train tracks above that street, yeah. Cool. Raccoon City D.
So far, these are very imaginatively named. Oh, it's unused.
Oh, there's a cable car. There's
And a mountain?
There's no. Yeah, I was thinking like there's no cable car in the game because obviously there are mountains canonically in Raccoon City. It's the Arklay Mountains, isn't it?
Gonna say yes.
That's cool though. But yeah, this was something they never did.
Opportunity for good lighting there as well, because you can sort of see the tops of the towers there. Raccoon City. Oh no, sorry. Police station, eh? Oh, I like the isolated 3D version on the white background. That's quite cool.
Yeah, Raccoon Police Station. They sort of know the entirety of it. Someone has to design the actual building bit.
Yeah, so I like the clock tower. Because is it supposed to be an old museum? I forget. It's been a while since... I mean, we played this just around the corner, so I should remember. Oh, I'm making all the reds go away. Do it the other way. Police
Station B. That's like the main foyer.
So yes, you're starting to see the interior now. There's a zombie for scale there on the right. Sort of an explanation of how the arches work.
Those lamps that only exist in fiction.
Oh, is it one of the green ones? Where's that?
I don't think it's green, but it's on the main table.
Oh, yeah, so it is. It has a little chain that you pull. Police station. See? Oh, that's so colourful.
Oh, cool. So we've got sort of the S.T.A.R.S office and then the conference room, and I think the rest of it is still the S.T.A.R.S office.
Yeah, that's all the S.T.A.R.S office from all of the different angles. The, not the bottom right, but the one just to the left of it. I'm not sure what that is. Is that part of the office as well? Maybe
I don't know, that might be the corridor outside, or...
It's just because the top right one, that isn't the S.T.A.R.S office, that's the conference room.
From downstairs, it's got a liquor on the ceiling.
It does. I noticed that every single picture does have a Leon for scale.
Apart from that one. With the S.T.A.R.S head office.
Oh, so it doesn't.
But yeah, it's cool, it's just giving you a sense of the detail and the disarray, and it's much more brightly lit.
Yeah, I really like the strong colours.
Police Station D. Oh, this is like the secret rooms you find. Was there a tiny model of the police station in the secret room?
Oh, I forget.
Yeah, so do I.
Maybe. Looks cool though.
Yeah, it's giving a sort of idea of the softer light and the moodier atmosphere.
I mean, if they've done the job right, it should be a scale model that's just literally real time.
You can look in and see a tiny Leon.
And you can find you.
And I think that's a bit of the clock tower on the right in the middle.
Yes, that's the clock face he's behind, in fact.
Cool.
And the one underneath that is the room adjoining it, I think. Oh, that's
I'm
one of the
not sure.
top floor corridors, either way. Gun shop Kendo. It's the gun shop called Kendo.
Aww.
So is that supposed to be the Faja?
That'll be
And
Kendo,
then
yeah.
behind the blinds, I'm assuming that's either the wife or the daughter that is looking after. Assumedly, that's the daughter because of the bear there. And that's sort of a bigger shot of the shop as a whole, with possibly him looking out the window, waiting for Leon or Claire to give them weaponry. Was he in 3? I forget. Well, 3's not out yet because this is recorded immediately. I'm not sure what's going on at the next one. I think that's just outside.
It's showing you the exterior on the front and then maybe the back.
Right.
But yeah, it's cool. Again, moody, atmospheric. You can see sort of like the first picture, I think, is where the storytelling is at. It's like he's sleeping in the little sleeping bag. He's trying to keep them separate from him because they're sick, and there's a teddy bear.
Yeah. It was like the saddest minute of the game.
Absolutely.
It's like, wow, it's really rough.
Orphanage.
Nothing untoward happened here.
Well, that's a bit different. In the game, it has like a full separated green courtyard and like a proper gate. It's not quite so on the street.
That's an old church nestled between much larger apartment blocks. They're taller buildings anyway.
It's cool though. It gets sort of the creepy atmosphere across, like the ones with the little cribs, which again, not sure they really had in the game because I think they decided they would have older children, I'm guessing.
Or they decided that room was wrecked. It could have been any, but I don't think there was a room with that many. Certainly not laid out that exact way. Anyway, the bottom left one showing the staircase up, that kind of survived mostly.
Yeah.
The bottom right one, is that the room you wake up in? I'm not sure. No,
I think that's like the main front room, because I remember there being sort of tables and kids' toys and cubbies.
And yeah, you've got the sort of double-decker beds. What are those called?
Bunk beds.
Bunk beds. And then the top right is probably the most disturbing of all, because that looks like some sort of operation chair.
Yeah, I
thing.
think that's sort of in his back office. He had creepy things.
Yeah, like a corpse. Sewers. Here we have a horizontal Cheryl and a Leon for scale. Even though they never were there, because that was Claire who was mostly with...
I suppose, yeah.
Is it Cheryl or Sherry?
Sherry.
Sherry, I'm thinking Silent Hill.
I feel like that's a lot more colourful than the sewers actually ended up looking. And
I think
brighter.
so, yeah. The sewers were gross in the main game. Whereas I think that's more visually interesting. And gross as well, because obviously that's rubbish all over the place.
Cool though.
What a weird one in the top there. With a tiny, tiny Leon for scale. Try your Internet Explorer zoom. And then the stairs. Are you chased by Mr. X down there, I believe?
Yeah, I feel like they've used Leon for scale, but this was a Claire section. Because yes, I think that bottom right one is also like the corridor down when you go to find Sherry and then you get chased back up into the elevator by X go and give it to you.
I can't believe you just said that.
I did. I went for it. What's next?
Ah! Sorry, the D-pad on this controller isn't very good. It's not an official Sony one.
Labrador A. That's what I'm going for. Ooh, this is a very different, much sleeker looking umbrella lab.
Yeah, that like top left one looks like the corporate head office or something.
It doesn't look quite as fancy as that, I think, in the version we play. Maybe more like the top right.
Like where's the ceiling sculpture and the leather chairs and the reflective floors? It's cool.
A lot of the other stuff is still there. You've got the frozen lab and then sort of the plant lab and then the containers with monsters.
Yeah. And then the one above it with the guy.
Yeah, I think we do find a guy in one of the sort of side labs.
I quite like the suits in the top right one there.
Level 4 quarantine lab. Cool.
Lab B.
Not continuing my joke.
Oh, I will, but not on that one.
This just all looks like the elevator you take down. It's
although we are finally seeing Claire for scale.
Yeah. I feel like that elevator looks much, much bigger and more complex than the in-game one did.
She's dressed much more formally as well. Looks like she's wearing some sort of shirt ensemble.
Got like an overshirt and then a vest over it. I don't know what's in the top right there. Very industrial looking.
Well, if you remember, don't we drop Mr. X in lava at some point? Or is that in the original?
Yeah, I'm thinking that is that in the original, and is that in the area previous to the labs?
Because you throw Sherry's... That's from the original. You throw Sherry's thing over Sherry's head, and then Mr. X follows it.
Right.
And then Claire says something cool, even though Mr. X wouldn't be able to hear. And most of this is the lift going down to the more industrial area at the bottom anyway.
Zombie.
Oh, don't get to. I was going to because you started off with Labrador, and then I was going to go Pug B.
Fair enough. Zombie.
Instead, Zombie. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Just the policeman from near the beginning, maybe?
I mean, I don't think it's any necessarily specific one, is it?
Just sort of general idea of zombies, how zombies work.
What you do is you glue some beef mince to your face. And away you go. Liquor.
Which I think is already like a pretty set design, because you've got it's essentially something that you could imagine has had its skin taken off essentially from the top of it.
Yeah,
you can
no
see
eyes.
all of its musculature and...
Mouth just under brain. Enormous prehensile tongue.
Yeah. Extra unhingeable jaw there.
Yeah.
They've got some sort of lines to sort of show how the mouth works.
Yes, to show you the musculature.
Cool. Alligator. Giant sewer alligator. Which, again, that's showing Claire for scale, but this was a Leon section.
It was, yes. I mean, fortunately, of course, we just did this in one go.
So I do feel like the sewer they've got here looks more like the sewer. It's dirtier and grimier and not as bright and colourful.
Well, same as Claire's got her structure. Although the alligator didn't really look like the bottom one. It was much more... defined. Because that's quite sort of bulbous and strange looking. IV. Oh, those things with the horrible vertical mouths and the nodules.
Very cool.
And then they have the giant plant, which wasn't really the same enemy, was it?
No, I think because they sort of got plopped out, so it's like maybe it's sort of like the master tree. So is that like the whole like everything is green toned?
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yes, they have the nodules on them you shoot. So in that top left one, it sort of looks like a pair of boobs.
Actualised really well in the game, actually, because it's interesting seeing sort of concept art to sort of what it looks like in the game and sort of going, yeah, actually, it pretty much just went straight from the concept into the game.
G, stage 1. Oh, so is this supposed to be Sherry's dad?
Yes.
And then, yes, is the version where he just had the eye shoulder, the new from Apple.
G, stage 2. He gained his weird new head.
Yeah, so he's got the very, how to get ahead in advertising, 2 heads, yeah.
Yes, because it's atrophied the original.
And he's got more red spots.
Eye on his back as well. And so he's got eyes in the back of his head.
G, stage 3.
G got big.
Now with extra arms, you can still see that second face. We've got an eyeball on the thigh as well.
You can. It's nice that it keeps sort of all of the previous elements as it goes through to make it truly monstrous, to remember that this was a person at one stage.
Because his face is much more like skull-like than I think it was in the game. The sort of new one on top looks very skull-like to me.
Seems I feel like they lost something in Resident Evil 8 with like the rapid fire changes where it just goes and suddenly Dimitrescu's a monster. And it's like, what? When did that? You did that like hidden behind camera. Whereas this one I liked it because you could sort of see him mutating. Although, yes, obviously it did sort of go in the meantime, he has evolved.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like this was still keeping to the much more slow progression of body horror, where you can sort of, imagine he's like, what is happening to my body, rather than just like, now I'm a monster, yeah.
G Stage 4 looks even more nightmarish.
I can't even see if we've got a face anymore. I think it's gone.
In fact, I feel like the in-game model isn't quite like this, because this has sort of lost some definition. It's very abstract and very, like, shapeless, which I really appreciate, actually. That's really cool. Also, it looks really wet.
Yes, less all that skin coming off.
Blub, 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 blub.
And then G Stage 5 is where it's just a room.
Yes, this is why he's training.
Room.
Oh, there's a face in the bottom right.
Oh, yeah.
They did keep it.
Because yes, that does feel like the whole Resident Evil progression of monsters is eventually you just are the building / train / room.
You sort of devolve. What always confused me is, where does the mask come from?
It's very Akira.
But either way, it's supposed to have like devolved. And yes, it is very Akira.
Cool.
Tyrant. So when you're wearing a tie and you have a rand.
Ooh, he looks very different. Like, all of those are different to each other.
Yeah.
None of those look like in the game. Because maybe the one on the right is the closest. He looks a lot huskier on the left.
The one on the far right sort of makes me think, like, this is how they imagined him looking. Because I always thought the point of the Tyrant was like the monster from Mimic, where you sort of go, from a distance, it could almost be a man. If he was standing in the corner of a room or you saw him from a distance, you'd sort of go, oh, it's just a big bloke.
Yeah, because you could sort of imagine as they're designing him in a lab that they're like, he's a weapon, but he has to pass a little bit and then take the coat off afterwards.
And go, because fiction. All monsters in fiction, they sort of go, rah, at people. And it's like, it wouldn't work like that in nature, because, like, you know, if you're being hunted by a stealthy cat and they went rah before chasing you, you'd run away or shoot it. But anyway, it goes rah.
Yeah.
And yes, the left one shows its exposed heart there. Very Jesus-y.
Weapons and items. So
Oh, that doll.
Hacking device, that'll be, what's her face?
Ada.
Ada Wong's hacking device, the doll that Sherry interacted with. We've got the notebook from the police station.
No bloodstains this time.
Looks like the triple symbol puzzle from the police station. The parking lot underneath the police station's little keycard parking thing.
Yeah.
Item box. The puzzle box again from the orphanage, which we had such trouble with.
And then it's because it was dark.
It was dark, and then yes, a picture for one of the
It's where you get the heart key from, yeah.
But yes, that doll. I don't even think it looks like that in the game, but they clearly were like horrifying, and then you turn it over and unzip it. Horrifying.
Logos and icons. We have the back design of Claire's sort of ensemble clothy things.
Yeah, like her biker jacket and biker suit.
Yeah, and some of the well, it's logos and icons. Bottom left one there showing us that the symbol on Sherry's locket, I think it is.
Yeah, that's the sort of the one that's on the lab pedestal as well. I think you put it in.
And the racing outfit, which in this is an alternative outfit, and we discovered was a sort of unused game from an original build of Resident Evil 2 original.
Yeah, I do like as well the inclusion of Knight's construction, because I did like that they were like, how could we make it plausible that this business would use chest keys? Well, they're into chess, so it's in the name.
Yeah, it makes
Like,
and
what?
it's the logo, so it's like, oh yeah, we do special edition like
Sure.
chess piece keys that we don't believe.
Design sketch A. This looks like it's rough character designs for Ben, Brian, I don't know who that is, various shots of Leon in different iterations.
It's nice to see the comparison to the original characters from Resident Evil 2 on PlayStation.
Yeah, they've clearly gone, well, like, this is the reference, and then we'll take it from there as soon as it's like, yes, I quite like that they've included the progress for Claire, because yes, she wore short shorts with leggings they'd sort of put underneath, and I suspect the original version they were wanting to get away with was without the leggings, maybe. And then yes, now she has the much more sensible full bottoms. And zombies can't nibble on her knees.
Design sketch B.
Ooh, fancy.
Ada was really cool in the game. I really like the massive coat and the FBI backstory.
Yeah, I suppose they clearly had a very set idea of her silhouette being very cool. And I liked Sherry's little cute sailor suit.
Yeah, I mean, I think we sort of played the game again, like the second run. We had the original game music, which was really good, and I'm like, why wasn't this just the default? Because it's
very much so.
Because it's like you have these very sort of undertone in the background ambient soundtracks now, and then we put the music on from Resident Evil 2 and went, it's really good, it should have just been
cool, this. Yeah. Well, yes, with the Sherry outfit, they clearly tried to retain the element of the sailor suit while trying to make it sort of a bit more modern, I
But we
guess.
just used the alternative outfit because it was better. Annette looking with her normal look on her face there.
Design sketch C.
Yeah.
Oh, this is all unused.
That's not how liquors work.
Yeah,
What?
so is this like someone who would have turned into a liquor?
Like a proto-liquor, and then it devolves into a full liquor, which makes sense because, of course, the G-virus devolves.
Yeah. It sort of almost looks fish-like in that middle panel, with the eyes getting bigger and bigger, and then
Batracian.
they seem to vanish, I guess.
Frog-like. And I don't know who that guy is on the right. Looks like he'd have trouble eating pie.
And then finally,
storyboards. Showing some zombie biting and ripping.
Yeah, they're all different shots, so it's like, I don't know.
Zombie biting and ripping is the left one.
And we've got Kendo with his daughter when she comes out of the shop and is sort of like daddy. And then we've got when you're like, there's someone, what was the line Sherry says in that instance?
You need help?
You need help, that's it, which is fantastic. And then, yes, Sherry running away in the orphanage.
Yeah, Sherry and Irons. Chief Irons.
And then an Ada and a Leon. Good Leon expression there.
Yeah, who, I mean, Leon's surprised at being kissed after flirting with every character in the game.
I think that's it for concept art.
Now we get to see the full, what they look like.
Leon casuals. I think you can hit them and turn them around and everything, and make them play animations and stuff. It's actually sort of a live model, yeah. He has clothes that interact with stuff.
This is Leon. Oh. And now he's standing back on the wibbly platform. Wibble, 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 wibble. Catch you, man!
So yes, it looks like we can scroll through them with R1 and R1.
There's his butt. Yeah, we'll do that. What's his animation? Pew, pew.
Leon Police.
He said something there. Don't know what it is.
No.
Is it just him with different guns?
Yeah, probably.
Yes,
Maybe.
his police outfit's pretty cool.
You get a closer look at all of the sort of layers of it.
Because you can see all of the fatness that made him break that ladder.
Leon Classic Police.
Basically just the outfit from the original.
Honestly, it's not even quite as colourful, I don't think, but...
There he is, shooting gang style.
Leon 98.
And it's like, he still looked worse than that in the original.
Yes, he did, yeah. That's cute, though.
Because this is getting to see him, like, when he's full resolution as well.
Yeah. Kachu Man, etc. Leon Noir with the slicked back hair.
I really liked his noir outfit.
I did as well.
Good waistcoat, I feel.
You get the good stretch of the trousers that cannot in fact contain his button of thighs.
Well, that's how he broke that ladder. This I was a bit less keen on.
I think it was just a bit boring compared to some of the other costumes.
I mean, maybe it's more authentic.
Claire jacket, this is how we see her. The good thigh holster there too. And yeah, she has a much more subdued version of the logo on the back of her coat, because I think in the good quick shooting there. In the racing outfit, I think it's much more vivid. She just has a black outline on the back of this one. Tank top. For extra biting flesh areas. Why would you take off the leather coat?
Much closer to her original outfit here.
Yeah. You can see the full art on the back.
Boom. Boom. It's not making the noises, so I'm making them.
Yeah, that's fair.
With a tiny submachine gun.
Like a strap on the front she's holding onto. It's nice to be able to see the details.
Yeah, you don't really get to see her shooting from this sort of angle in the game, do you? It's cool.
It's definitely, you sort of wonder at all the things, the details video games put in, and then you have the camera on the front of their face.
Sorry, the thighs on this model are amazing.
I was just thinking, well, her thighs are actually pretty well defined. She's got a athletic-ish build. Claire Noir.
Really like this outfit.
Oh, did you? I thought that she could have had a nicer noir outfit personally. I could have appreciated like a slinky dress.
I don't think you could make a dress out of slinkies. Catch you.
Otherwise, she could have also been in a waistcoat. That would have been nice.
This one was interesting.
Well, because is this supposed to make you think of the original game and sort of the FMB movies in that, where they had like weird little caps? Or am I thinking of a different character?
You're probably thinking of Rebecca from the first game, in the live action section. Oh, and this is the racing outfit, yes.
Yeah. Stagler. Ada trench coat, looking very cool.
So cool. Ooh. Oh. What's the animation?
She just cools at you.
I'm haughty. Yeah.
Ada in her cocktail dress.
Fair enough.
When you've got to do corporate espionage but look good at the same time.
We've all been there. Pew pew.
Sherry school uniform.
Very urchiny.
It is.
I like the detail of the wristband.
Yeah. She's wearing little shorts, and you can still see like little bits of the sailor uniform with the full collar and the bow and the sleeves, but it's like, yeah. Maybe they wanted to focus on a more practical and less cutesy design.
Yeah.
Infected version. with the bonus Claire. But yes, she looks a lot scruffier. Jacket? With Claire's jacket, in fact. Very cute.
That was only one animation.
Classic school uniform.
Admittedly, not very practical school
No,
uniform.
yeah. Classic jacket. That's Claire's jacket over that version.
I prefer this one because it's more colourful and
Yeah.
cool looking.
It feels sort of more 80s-ish, but then I forget if this game is supposed to still be set at the same time period.
It feels more like a jacket, whereas the one she wears in the main game feels very much like a, well, we have to give her the silhouette and we have to give her the jacket, but we don't want it to be too distracting. So it doesn't feel as real, I suppose. It's just running animation. Survivors.
Just when they're walking into the distance.
Animate. Oh, I was hoping for more than that.
We should get a dog and a pony, and you can adopt me. I forget what the speech is at the end of the game. Hunk. Oh.
Mainly from the sort of DLC stuff.
Yeah, I think that's part of the unlocking the models. What do you see? He's a tactical soldier. We saw soldiers like him in the game.
Mostly dead, but they also arrested, or tried to arrest and killed, Birkin. Tofu, who we haven't seen.
Oh, he's so jiggly.
But, I mean, they're tofu.
Jiggly, jiggly, jiggly. Ah, no, they've been eaten.
That's ridiculous.
It is, I like it. I like it a lot. Jiggly. Oh yes, Konjac. The much tougher version, I would guess.
Again, utterly ridiculous. Really? Okay.
He has a grenade. Flan.
How many of these are there? That looks delicious.
It does.
What is it? It looks like a flan. They call it a flan. What do we call it? Caramel cream?
It might be, yeah. They almost look like alternate tofu costumes, which I assume is the idea.
Okay.
And in tofu.
Let's watch it reload this pistol. Revolver.
Marvin. Poor Marvin, he got such a short end of the stick.
Honestly, I thought he was a brilliant character in this.
Yeah.
Wait, is that it? Just one animation?
Yeah, not a lot of them seem to have more than that. Brian Irons. Very red-eyed. He was a weird guy.
Who was he?
He was the guy in the
journalist?
cell, yeah, who we didn't see much, but
He didn't last very long
no, he did not.
before being killed.
Annette Birkin.
Just one of her speeches, I'm assuming. I like the detail of the glasses
Yeah.
and the
Bad.
card.
Very casual, but with a doctor's coat.
Barely in it, Birkin. Because he didn't remain like that. That was like in between getting shot and ending that cutscene. I didn't even think there'd be a model of him in the game like this because you never encounter him in this stage. And I
mean,
think the movie's pre-rendered.
I suppose they made it for the movie, yeah, I was going to say.
he have gun wounds on the back as well? Oh yeah.
Attention to detail, man.
Oh, that's a good look. Mmm.
Robert and Emma Kendo.
No, it was the sad bit.
Yeah, this is when she came out. Yes, we can see some of the detail. He's got so many pouches attached to his hip.
Because he works in a gun shop. That works. Oh, yeah.
Yes, she's rather zombified.
Oops, didn't mean to come out that far. Catherine Warren? Oh, right.
This is more DLC.
No, this is the character on the operating table in Chief Irons's office.
I think that's in the old game. In the new game, she's in the orphanage on the
In his
table.
office in the orphanage.
Yes. Very blue, very strange. Almost like a sci-fi character.
No animation. She kind of just lies there, being dead. Look, if you stand her up, she's fine. Look, she's fine.
Catherine Warren.
Go, Catherine.
Mr. Raccoon. There's jiggly animation, I'm guessing.
Oh, that's way more movement than a plastic doll should have.
It is, admittedly.
That's quite disturbing.
Because really, his arms and legs should move. His torso should be fixed. Zombie male. Yeah, I think that's the one in the diner at the sort of service station at the beginning with the cop.
He just wants a hug.
More zombies. Very cool. Police zombies. It almost look like you can read his name badge.
Almost.
Yeah, you can't quite, but that's a zombie male.
Oh, is this the one that like fell on one of the playthroughs and he like just fell down like in the middle of a stairwell and scared me pantsless?
I forget, but maybe. Looks like a first responder zombie or a SWAT team zombie, can't tell. Good luck, yeah.
Male pattern baldness though.
You can't help being bald. Oh no!
No, it's not Marvin, is it?
I think it's Zombie Marvin, yeah.
Oh, it might be, yeah.
With the gut wound.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Marvin.
Zombie female.
Yeah.
There's going to be loads of these as well. There's a police one.
Very cool. Because they're very detailed.
Feels like a window animation.
Yeah, I think you can tell which ones are for the window. And this will be when we're getting to the hospital again. I like seeing the hair. It's very cool in the
Yeah, you can kind of jiggle the hair by.
RE engine's called? Is it
Re-engine.
just a re-engine? Yeah. Very cool.
Oh, is that it? Fewer.
Liquor? Ugh. All shiny looking. I guess you can look and see his back and everything.
And the interplay of his
Bits and pieces.
spine and shoulder blades. It's a sexy, sexy monster. Maybe zoom out a little, Peter. Rah! Do the lick. There we go.
Where does it
Lick.
keep all of that tongue?
Lick. Lick. Like 3 times his frickin' body length.
You get animals like that, which I assume is the inspiration. Zombie dog.
Bork, bork.
Many animations for the zombie dog. Just being a good dog. Less so.
Did they really need to animate? Never mind.
Yes, they are anatomically correct, I think.
It's a boy dog.
A G adult? Oh, right, yes.
Yes, we've got the Gadult. Is this one of the ones in the sewer?
Yeah, I think these are the sewer ones where they had the big eyeball thing that you shot.
Is it going to open its mouth at some point and go, rah? Ah.
Very gross.
How long is this animation?
G young? Oh, these are the little swimmer ones.
Yeah.
It's got like an eyeball or eyeballs and a mouth. Very gross.
Reminds me of a Dalek.
actually. It is a bit sort of the thing inside the Dalek's like
The Dalek?
structure. Yeah, the actual Dalek. And obviously it's very alien. Ivy? Oh, right, those monsters. Yeah, with the sideways mouths. Very cool. And yes, as you find out, basically what it looked like in the concept.
Yeah.
You zoom right in on the face there.
Well, I'm going to zoom right in on the face for its second animation because I'm assuming it's going to do the thing. Ah!
It's like the mouth is the whole head. It's very like Venus flytrap, but a person.
Nightmare fuel.
Absolutely. Giant roach.
Yes, there's nothing more terrifying.
I feel like it's got kind of a skull going on the head and shoulders. It's got that. It's cool.
Meh.
Alligator.
Arr. Actually, it is as shapeless as it made out in the thing.
It looks like it's like got stuff and organic matter on it, admittedly. It's a little dinosaur-y like, but then alligators are. Cool. Tyrant.
Thunk, 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 thunk.
Is that when you attack him? Yeah.
It's when you defeat him momentarily.
Rawr. Super Tyrant. He's sort of starting to break down a bit. You can still see most of him still there. You can see where he's taken off the coat, but it's still mostly around his waist. And
I mean, this is after he's been, like, torn and whatnot.
very cool.
And telegraphing his big move there and then attacking you.
G stage 1. Oh, right, yes. And they changed the sort of the wooden stick to a metal pipe. He looks very grotesque and in pain.
And then he's sort of going, come back.
Can we see the start of like a head or a face on his shoulder, or is there? It's just his face.
It's
at
not
this
really,
point?
like,
Yeah.
pokes out later, but I don't think it's really visible at this point.
He doesn't actually fight with any particular amount of grace, he's just angry. I mean, wouldn't he be?
I'd be thoroughly annoyed. That must be when you hit him.
G stage 2. Yeah, we've got the other face now. And the little useless hand curled up on the chest I quite like. It's awful, yeah. Very grotesque. Very, like I said, the sort of progression in the body horror is very cool. And like the limbs sort of stretching out so they're longer than they were.
Yeah, the frame sort of doesn't make any sense. It doesn't conform to human shaped anymore, really.
That's cool. And then stage 3.
Thoroughly alien at this point.
And yeah, actually he is fairly skull-like. It sort of reminds me of the creepy alien baby in, what is it, Alien Resurrection? I'm not sure has the creepy alien skull head baby. Looks like that anyway. I forget if you've seen that.
I mean, I vacillate between it not existing.
That's fair enough. Because I don't think I can see Birkin's face in the actual model.
No, that's what I was looking for.
Oh no, there it is. Got a tiny little Birkin face stuck in there. You can get an animation where he's maybe swinging his arms up.
Problem is I can't really pause it.
No, that's fair. He is there, he's just much more consumed by the monster.
Rah! Really goes for it.
Very cool. And then stage 4.
Where you sort of fight it with a machine gun at that point, and it's very much broken down. Not even its final form.
Well, because even the head that it's made is now broken down again.
I've got wiggly hands. Yeah.
It's the sort of like there's the hand on the back there, yeah, where it sort of becomes we were talking about it being Akira-like, or it's just sort of all the matter and it's sort of replicating all the extra information.
And of course green glowy eyes.
It's very cancerous, which I assume is the idea.
I like the way the eyes animate as well. I kind of look around. Yeah.
And then at 5,
Chain gun fodder.
whole room version.
That too.
Oh, I think there is a little head in the corner still. Is that a? I think.
It wouldn't let me really move very far. But yes, I think that is a head.
That is still there. Combat knife.
No animation. I would at least get to see it in its degenerating stages. I thought it was one of the cooler things in the game.
I'm not sure I would describe that as a combat knife.
Bread knife?
I don't know. A knife.
Butter knife? This is a very flash grenade.
Oh wow, remove the grenade's pins, release the safety lever.
Wrong lever!
1000, 1002. Oh, 1001, 1002.
Count
throw
to 2,
grenade.
throw a grenade.
Cool. As soon as there's like numbers on the top and stuff. And I like when they're like detailed enough that you
That's
can
super
make them
detailed,
out.
isn't it?
Yeah. And then a regular grenade.
As the orcs would say, take out the pin, throw the other part.
Yeah. Nothing on the bottom, nothing on the top. This is Ada's cool
Magic wand.
EMF thing.
Magic wand, basically.
Oh, lots of buttons and bits and pieces. It's sort of camera-like. I mean, it's a EMF visualizer. It's a camera, basically, of some sort. Matilda.
Oh, wait. Right. This is the first one with an animation. Because I'm assuming bang, bang.
Yeah, you can see the... I don't really know all the names of the parts.
You can see the movie bit moving.
Yeah.
And it even has Matilda written on it.
9mm 19. Cute, and then upgraded version. And the SLS 60, which is a really little sort of type of revolver pistol.
It's a revolver, yeah. It's it being reloaded. Hope you see that from a different angle.
And then just a variant with a different grip.
Yeah.
JMB HP3. And other letters too.
Yes, I can't remember what you call it when the whole sort of chamber at the top moves.
Then upgrade.
Yep. The broom.
It's very spy gunny.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
The MUP. Or MUP.
M19.
The guns are getting bigger. Quick Draw Army.
Oh, this is the one with the fancy reload animation, I think.
It's got the wings on the handle.
Oh, that's
What's
interesting. The barrel doesn't slide out. Sorry, the thing that holds the bullets, I forget what it's called. It doesn't slide out. You just open it and pop the bullets in.
I just had a flash of is it Ocelot in MSGV, where it's like engravings don't impart any value.
Or earlier game, I love reloading in battle.
The Samurai
Or
Edge
whatever the line is.
original has some writing on it, but
It'll say Kendo.
yeah, I suppose if they're custom Kendo guns, custom Kendo shop, very nice. Yeah.
The Jill.
Looks like it says Police Stars Raccoon.
Yeah.
Model just for the police. Very cool.
Because she is
Stars
a member of
RPGs.
S.T.A.R.S.
which is how that's pronounced.
And then the Chris model, which is in blue.
Very cool.
The Albert model.
Wesker. Shotgun. Pump action.
Even more shotgun.
Just after it's had a couple of the upgrades. This is the grenade launcher. Dunk. And then with the stock and the sort of aimy bit.
Sights.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, it's the little rapid shooty one that Claire has with the little handle.
Yeah. Gets bigger. Lee 5.
Some sort of small assault rifle.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking, I don't know.
Oh, there's loads of weapons.
Yeah. No, I was thinking, was there an upgraded version? Spark shot, very cool.
Weapon we completely misused in our first run by stopping before it overloaded, and you were supposed to just overload it.
Chemical flamethrower. The Lightning Hawk, which is the special gun, I think, that we get.
Yeah, it's the Deagle.
Fancy. With upgrades.
With knobs on.
Yep. Anti-tank rocket. Or anti-Mr. X rocket.
Cool. It's the ATM 4, lets you withdraw money. No animation.
No.
The hilariously named minigun.
Not mini at all. You get to see the animation, which is cool.
Up close as well, because it's like, you know, normally you see it in the game and it's like obscured mostly by the character.
And we're back around to Leon Casual, so that was all the models. And I think that's it.
Yes.
That was the Resident Evil 2 main extras for the main game. DLC will come when DLC comes.
You hope you enjoyed it.
And we'll see you again next time.